Hey y'all, welcome to the Second of Strength podcast. My name is Tanner Clark. I went from sitting at a desk to speaking on stage internationally to inspire teenagers and people like you. My goal is simple: help you find your 1 second of strength to walk away from the things that are holding you back, to step into your potential and ultimately find happiness. Thank you for spending your valuable seconds with me today. Let's go. What is going on? Welcome to the Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you are, I am grateful you're here. I'm your host, Tanner Clark. If you don't know me already, or some of you, this is your first time listening to this podcast, so I'm glad you're here. You probably found me from Instagram at Real Tanner Clark. If you haven't been over there yet, you can go over there, vice versa, whatever. And if you have a minute, share this podcast. Share this podcast on your social media. The more people we can help, the better. And that's what my hope is. My hope today is that this podcast will help you. So we're going to talk about something really powerful today. It's arguably the most powerful word in the English language that I honestly just don't think that we say enough. And it's the power of the word no. We need to get in the habit of saying no more often to things that don't serve us. I think too many people are saying yes to things that don't serve them, things that aren't going to benefit them, things that are going to drain your own battery, things that are going to harm you in the long run. I think we say yes because we're too afraid to say no. And look, it's probably because you're a good person. You are a good person. You maybe you're a pleaser. Maybe you just, have just a really good heart that you want to help people. The challenge is that when we're not cautious about that, we can end up hurting ourselves in the process of helping others. And that's what I want to try and avoid today, is that we can get really comfortable saying no to the things that aren't going to help us in the long run, because we've got these goals, we've got these dreams, these pursuits, we're chasing things that matter most in our lives, and everybody else is chasing things that matter most in their lives. And so sometimes what happens is we get asked to help in some way for someone else and someone else's pursuit, and all it does is limit us. And so look, there's a balance here, because saying no to everything is obviously not the right answer. Saying yes to everything is obviously not the right answer. Somewhere in the middle, there's this happy medium that we need to find it. But what you really have to do is you really need to take a step back and evaluate your own life, your path, your progress, see where you're at, so that you can then know and better filter in the yeses and filter out the nos. Because when we do that, it will create strength and power around ourselves to help ourselves and then ultimately help other people. So one of the biggest things we have to do is create space in our lives for us. You have to create space in your life for you. And yes to everyone else sometimes means no to you. Saying yes to everyone else means no to you. And that's the place where I want to make sure that we're not falling into, because we want to say yes to ourselves. We want to say yes to our path, to our goals, to our dreams. We want to say yes to us because you're that important. You are the most important person in your life. And you may have kids, you may have people that you love, that you care for, and those people are absolutely super important. But if we're saying yes to them constantly and the result is saying no to us, that's when we got to be careful, because we need to be cautious about this, because if we don't, it will limit our ability to rest. It will limit our ability to recharge. It can cause burnout. It can cause a place where we just aren't in a healthy spot ourselves, because we're creating a world where we can help everyone else be healthy. So that's the bottom line. Create boundaries in your life that are going to help you progress, that are going to help you grow. So what are those boundaries? Set those, and whether that is with a loved one, whether that is with a colleague, there's just certain things, certain lines that you cannot cross, and it's up to you to decide where those are. But if you've been saying yes to everything right now, that's probably not the boundary. The boundary needs to be pulled back a little bit, and it might be really hard. It might be difficult to create a new boundary in your life. It might be difficult to tell people that you've always been a yes to, or you've always been a pleaser to kind of say no. And look, be cautious. If they get upset, they're frustrated or whatever, they might be taking advantage of you. And so that's something that you need to be, that we need to be aware of. So a few things as you're evaluating the no process in your life, and we want to get in the habit of saying this a little bit more often to protect yourself, again, so you can rest, so you can recharge, so you can have these boundaries, so you can pursue the passions that you want to pursue. So that's the reason, that's the bubble that we want to think through. And so just ask yourself these questions. When you are faced with an opportunity that someone's asking you to do something for them, big, little, whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself this question. Will yes prevent me from focusing on something that's more important? Will yes prevent me from focusing on something that's more important? If the answer is yes, then probably answer to this person is no, you can't do it. Second question, does this potential project thing, the thing that they want to help on, the opportunity, does it align with your values, your beliefs, and your goals? Does this align with your values, your beliefs, and your goals? And if the answer is no, it doesn't, then the clear answer to those people, no matter how hard it is no, you can't do it. Third question, will saying yes make me even more tired and burnt out? Will saying yes make me even more tired and burnt out? If the answer is yes, then we need to say no to that opportunity. Because here's the deal. You're like a battery, right? If you are drained, there's no way you can recharge or charge or give power to anything else in your life. You can't give power to your goals. You can't give power to your dreams. You can't give power to your kids. You can't give power to your, the MLM that you're working on. You can't give power to anything if you're on empty. And so if something is going to make you more tired and burn you out even more, then the answer has to be no, because how can you pour into other people if you're empty all the time? You just can't. You can't do it. So next question. Will saying yes be good for my mental health, or will it worsen it? I think that there's a new light that's being shown on mental health. And I think even more and more people are talking about it. It's almost a buzzword, but I don't want it to be seen as a buzzword. I want it to be real, because your mental health is important. You have to protect it. And so if saying yes to something that somebody else wants you to do for them is something that's going to be bad for your mental health, then the answer has to be no. We can't sacrifice ourselves for the behalf of other people, whatever it is. And I don't know what it is you're facing in your life or what people are asking you to do, but you need to put that in check, because if it's going to damage your mental health, it's not worth it. Just hard no, it's not worth it. And people need to be okay with that. Last question here is, if you have said yes to something like this opportunity, something else in the past, the question is, if you said yes in the past, will this, will you regret it? Will you end up regretting it? And so check that. Check to make sure that saying yes to this opportunity is not something you're going to regret in the future. And vice versa, saying no, is it something you're going to regret saying no to? But these are five questions, I guess, that you can filter through just to kind of evaluate if this opportunity is good or if it's not. George Bernard Shaw said, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. If we are spending all our time saying yes to other people and other people's opportunities, we can't create ourselves. We cannot create the person that we're destined to become. And so we need to be okay with saying no. And it doesn't mean you have to be rude. Don't be rude to say no to somebody on some opportunity, but it's okay to let them down gently. And it's also okay to say no for the reasons that you can't. I did that in the past, and it was something that I struggled with, or that created challenges for me. I'm going to say no to this one. I'm sorry, because right now I'm focusing on this other aspect of my life, and I just can't give that time. I'm really sorry. I wish I could help maybe in the future, so it's okay. It's okay to let people down early, but it's okay to be perfectly honest with them in the things that you're saying no to, because what happens is, if we're not honest, we might damage a friendship. We might, hurt somebody. But if someone is a true friend and we come to them with a real reason why we can't do something, then a true friend will be okay with that. And a true friend should support us in the way that we've always supported them. So please get in the habit of saying no in your life. Say no to the things that are not serving you. Say no to the things that are going to pull you away from the more important things in your life. Say no to the things that are going to make you burnt out, keep you from rest, keep you from recharge. Say no to the things that are going to drain your battery so much that you can't power up any other part of your life. And when you do that, you will create space in your life for the important things. You'll be creating space in your life for you. And at the other side of that, on the other side of no, is growth. On the other side of no is growth. So wherever you're at, I hope this helps you today. If you haven't already, please go take 1 minute, less than that, 30 seconds, go to wherever you're watching this podcast, listening to this podcast, and just leave it a review. And if you can, a comment and review, but 5 stars is greatly appreciated. But if you can't, I totally get it. But it is how we can get this message out to more people and help more people, which is my goal. I want to help as many people as we possibly can. So thank you for listening. Thank you for spending your valuable seconds with me today. And I'll leave you like I always do. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it helped you. If you haven't already, hit subscribe so you never miss another episode, and leave a review for the show. And as always, go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.